Hello my viewers, welcome back to the channel. My video title of this video is about NFL Divisional Round Playoff Picks. There's been some crazy playoff games in the wild card weekend they had this previous week. A lot of different games, a lot of different outcomes, crazy outcomes and scenarios. Two of my game picks went wrong on the Vikings and Giants game and the Chargers and Jaguars game. The Chargers and Jaguars game was crazy. I was dozing off going to sleep because I was like watching it. I was like, okay, it's 27-7. And I was going to sleep a little bit, like, okay, I'll come back. No, I'll fall asleep and, maybe wake up and the game be finished and see what happened. When I went to sleep, I woke up and I looked and I seen the score was 30. The score was 30 to 28 or something like that. I was like, what's going on? And I see Travis Etienne. I woke up at the nick of time too. I woke up like right when the play happened, a 4th down play. They did this crazy formation. They came out there and Travis Etienne just run on the sideline and get some big yardage, and they go out there and kick a field goal to win it. I was like, what just happened? How they blow that lead? So, and I was like, man, it's crazy. And I saw the highlights and stuff. I was seeing everything. I was like, man, this is some type of fancy thing. Only Chargers could do that. Falcons and Chargers, the only teams that in the world I know who can do that. Like that. I know Lombardi has got fired, the Chargers OC. He had some, remember I mentioned him before multiple times we was doing the game picks week to week. The play calling was just not there. Justin Herbert had a good season this year, but the play calling just wasn't there like that on certain plays. Like, he used like certain things, missed opportunities and chances to take down field. A lot of short stuff, a lot of too much gimmicky stuff, trying to do too much motion and all that crazy stuff, and just sticking it, just basically like doing what you usually accustomed to, what Justin Herbert is accustomed to in previous years. So hopefully they get back to that. But that right there was crazy right there. A very crazy game. Jaguars are headed to Kansas City. And in that game, Jaguars and Kansas City, Jaguars, of course, everybody got a chance. Everybody has a fighter's chance. You got a puncher's chance, what they say in boxing. You get in that ring, you have a chance. You got to deliver one punch, and you can win. And the Jaguars have a chance. But if you turn the ball over 4 times against the Kansas City Chiefs, you're not going to get back in the game. There's not going to be no coming back or no like getting back in the game. It's not going to happen. I had this game being 35-17 in favor of the Chiefs. The score might be closer, but in my opinion, I feel like the Chiefs are a team that's just high above it, more experience, more talent. Well, Jaguars have a lot of talent on their roster too. Next year, I feel like Jaguars be more of the year. Remember, I mentioned before, I said the Jaguars' year going to be next year. I feel like that next year going to be very big for them. They're going to probably win maybe 12 games, 13 games next year. You get Calvin Ridley, you add more to your defense and stuff, and you add more to your roster in general. And Trevor Lawrence being his 3rd season, and like that even bigger jump, it's gonna be their best season like that. For this year right here, they kind of actually good the way they started off. They kind of overachieved just a little bit. Okay, but there's a lot of. But if you watch their games like here and there, they was neck and neck on a lot of games like that. So they could have easily had 12 wins this year. They could have easily had this or that. They could have easily had more wins on their record. But I got the Chiefs win this game 35-17. Patrick Mahomes has not lost a game in the playoffs. In Divisional round or wild card round, of course. He's only lost in the AFC Championship game. His resume speaks for itself. His first year in the league, he played 1 game against the Broncos, went crazy at the rushing touchdown. We've seen the arm talent and arm strength. The next year in the league, won the MVP, 50 touchdowns. AFC Championship, falls short to Tom Brady. The following year, goes to the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl. Following year, goes to the Super Bowl, lose the Super Bowl. Following year, AFC Championship. Mahomes' resume speaks for himself. AFC Championship or Super Bowl. Really what happens in his and based on his resume we've seen so far. One of the greatest 4-year starts in the NFL history, I believe so. Mahomes is an amazing player. So Mahomes and Travis Kelce going to do their thing. Andy Reid and they're going to do their thing this Sunday, and they're going to head to the AFC Championship game. You can bet your money on that one. And moving on next to the next AFC game, which is the Bengals and the Bills. The Bengals kind of look a little shaky at first against the Ravens. Like that, the Ravens always have the Bengals number a little bit. They had Lamar Jackson. They might have won that game. You never know. If Tyler Huntley never fumbled at the goal line, they might have won that game too. He kind of jumped too early. You got to make sure you get in there and then jump like that. I don't know why they just didn't run the ball with Gus Edwards up the middle like that, or J.K. Dobbins like that up the middle. One of those guys like that. I think J.K. Dobbins is bigger than just Gus Edwards a little bit, but they could have just ran the ball up there. The little trickery I would have did. Double running back formation, had Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins out there and do a little trickery like that. But I'm handing it off to one of the backs. I'm not running it myself like that to risk that. But Tyler Huntley, he started coming up from a lot a little bit more. He had 2 touchdown passes and stuff, but it just wasn't enough. That fumble return, the touchdown was 7 points. And they lost by 7 points. That play never happened. You never know what could have happened. I think even you got stuffed at the goal line, and you could have just at least left away with a field goal or something. But that right there kind of set them back a little bit. and they could have had opportunity to win in that game like that. But the Bengals won that game, and the Bengals are headed off to Buffalo, and they're gonna be playing the Bills. And both teams, Bengals didn't look super. They look pretty good in the wild card game, but they didn't look super impressive like they looked last year in their playoff games like that. But this is one game to start off like that. So we're gonna see how the Bengals look against the Bills, but the Bills didn't look super impressive either. We've seen the big points and we've seen the stuff like that. But one concern I always had, I mentioned before, Josh Allen turning the football over. He's a risk taker. Them gunslinger quarterbacks, they're gonna throw the ball a lot. They're gonna sling it to him. Mahomes, Josh Allen, but Mahomes a little more. Mahomes more accurate than Josh Allen though. So you don't see as many like crazy interceptions like that. But you do see some crazy interceptions like this, like them trying to take too many chances. Like the Vikings game, remember we talked about before on the channel, where you could have just easily threw the ball away or threw to check down. He tried to force the ball in the middle, got picked off, and they lost the game. Like that, too many times down the field, he was trying to force the ball, forcing some crazy passes and stuff like that. And the Dolphins had the lead in the game. Scott Thompson did a solid job, did a pretty good job. And being a quarterback, was his third start, something like that. He's a 7th-round pick. Went out there and led some good drives down the field like that. And they could have capitalized on more plays like that, but they only lost by a little bit. The Dolphins gotta get healthy like that. Maybe next year they can make a better run. But the Bills didn't look super impressive in that win. They won the game, but they didn't look super impressive. They started off impressive. They was up 17-0, right? And then they just fell off the wagon a little bit, and the Dolphins came back in, and defense got to them. So this game right here might be closer than we think. I have the Bengals win this game 31-28, but I thought this game could go either way. I'm hoping it's the Bills because the story would be perfect. The Bills and the Chiefs, I want them to meet up again, the AFC Championship game, and this time maybe the Bills can finally get over that hump, or maybe they won't. But I got the Bengals winning it, though. I got the Bengals winning. I hate me to say it because I'm a Steelers fan, but I got the Bengals winning this game 31-28, and we get a rematch of last year, Chiefs versus Bengals, like that. But you never know what could happen. I think I'm still kind of neutral in that game, so I might change my pick later down the line, later down the week, but the game is kind of neutral like that. So hopefully we see a crazy showing, a crazy matchup, and get something crazy. This will be the first time the teams meet too, of course, since the Damar Hamlin situation. Damar Hamlin is he was back in Buffalo doing well, so that's great to see like that. But it will be a dream-like scenario too. Damar Hamlin, that injury he had, and what happened on the field was very crazy, very But him coming back, the motivation they had, keep fighting, the coming back like that, and got better. And the time period he got better and stuff. All the prayers of people around the world and stuff, and for them to go to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl, that right there would be a crazy Disney-like story. Win a Super Bowl for their brother like that. And of course he's healthy now, but they're still fighting for him. They're still fighting for him like that. That motivation, that drive like that. They feel like if he can overcome what he did, we can overcome this right here and win it for him, something like that. So hopefully that's their dream story does happen like that. But they gotta limit turnovers though, and just keep fighting. But hey, as long as you win the game too. But the turnovers is like, I feel like some of those turnovers that happened. Now the one of the picks wasn't his fault. Of course it bounced off of somebody, but the other pick and then the strip sack and stuff like that. I know like the pressure's getting to him, but usually Josh Allen step up in the pocket. But that last game he was just like kind of running into the pressure on a few plays. But hopefully the game goes well. I think this game right here gonna be I think it'll go to overtime. I think this game right here gonna go to overtime. This game right here gonna be a nice game. I feel like I picked the Bengals to win, but I might change my pick to the Bills to win 31-28. I'll see later down the line. But moving on to the NFC side of things, we've seen the Giants with a crazy. Some people don't see it as an upset. I don't really see it as an upset, but I thought the Vikings would do better. The Vikings, I picked them to win the game. Well, I think they said the score was going to be 20. I said 28-24, something like that. I believe so. I might be mistaken, but I thought the game would be like a close game like that. I thought the Vikings was going to win, but the Vikings did not show up to play. T.J. Hockenson had a nice game like that, and then the Vikings start fighting their way back into it later down the line. But Daniel Jones did what he did to him last time. Last time he threw for 300 yards against the Vikings defense. He did it again this time, and he rushed for 70 yards as well, like that. And we see the receivers getting involved and stuff like that. And Barkley and them, they all just going crazy on the Vikings. The Vikings defense has been vulnerable this whole season, allowing big time plays, allowed the Colts to put 35 on them, like that. So they allowed a lot of different type of crazy games that happened. The Lions were smoking them one time. And the Packers smoked them one time. So we've seen them like allow things against some good offenses too. And it gets good offenses and gets some offense that was kind of struggling. The Giants' offense not the best offense in the world, but Brian Daboll is a good coach. good coach. What he did his first year, he's good at getting quarterbacks on par. He did that for Josh Allen. He's doing it for Daniel Jones now, and he's gonna continue to do it like that. And we can see what it lead to. The Giants will be heading to and Kirk Cousins throwing a check down on 4th down was crazy. Like if it's to the line, you gotta get to the line of game. If it's 4th down, we have to throw the ball to the line of game. We have to throw the ball beyond the sticks. We cannot throw no check down on a 4th down like that. That's just crazy like that. Now, you have to throw to the line of game, especially if it's 4th and 8. Like, it'd be different if it's 4th and 1 or something like that. It's 4th and 8. 4th and 8, 4th and 7, something like that. But you have to throw it to the line of game. And he threw a check down. T.J. Hockenson, I don't know what he was thinking. He had time, too. If he just waited a little longer, he could. I think they had they showed. He had some people somebody would run a dig route, a crosser route like that. Or if they wanted to match up with T.J. Hockenson, they could have had him run like a little, I don't know, get line up wide and do some type of comeback or some type of curl route. But hey, if he drops it or something happens, at least you threw it to the line of game. Don't throw a check down on 4th down when your season's on the line. That right there was crazy. I don't think Kirk Cousins will be a Viking next year. I think the Vikings need to go in the draft if they can try to move up, try to trade up on one of those teams like that to try to get a quarterback to build for the future, because you have a nice team. You have a nice team talent. You need to build that defense up too. The defense can get built up back to where it was years ago, like that. I think 4 or 5 years ago when the defense was actually pretty good. Like that, I need to build up like that. But I feel like Kirk Cousins is not coming back. This might be his last year as the Vikings, so might see Kirk Cousins on the move as well. But the Giants versus the Eagles is going to be a very interesting showdown. Very interesting showdown. I have the Eagles winning this game. I think it'll be a very close game, though. I think the score will be 27-24. I feel like the Giants will control this game, but then the Eagles will surge in the end and win it. Jalen Hurts, I don't know how healthy he is now. He was banged up a few weeks ago. A few weeks ago, he was banged up, and we're seeing him like not look the same, but he still look all right like that. So hopefully he's back healthy, so he can have him at full force. But AJ Brown's a guy who's always open. You know, he wear number 11. He's like 7'11". He's always open. Every time I see him, I see like a big play. Like, are they even covering him? Like he'd be wide open. Like he'd be like, that route running is crazy. He'd be wide open like that, and he's very physical. So you throw the ball to AJ Brown. Devontae Smith is a very quick, shifty guy as well. Nice route runner too. So they can just attack those DBs on the Giants. Kind of like the Giants DBs, they're not bad DBs, but they're still favorite matchups for the Eagles. Attack those, get vertical with them like that. Of course, they implement the run game, the scheme they do. They love running the RPOs. They love the RPRs too, the run pass run type of option. I remember first time seeing that this year with the Eagles doing it. Like you see stuff in college a lot, but the Eagles doing it, the run, the pass option, and the run, that right there is some crazy stuff. That's some nice scheme too, especially with a quarterback like Jalen Hurts, who's very good with that type of stuff. But it's gonna be a very interesting game. I feel the game gonna be very close, 27-24, and that can go either way too. Because it's a division game. Division games are always crazy and wacky. You never know what can happen. Now this was like, if the Giants was a different team out of the division playing them, I would have the Eagles smoking them. But since it's a division games always find a way to be close. They always find a way to be close and wacky or something wacky feeling. So I got the Eagles winning 27-24, but I might change my pick to the Giants. You never know. And then last but not least, we have the 49ers versus the Cowboys. The Cowboys did what we all thought they were going to do. Go out there and beat the Bucks. You know, the Bucks are 8-9 team. They won the division of a division that had all losing records. They went to the playoffs with a losing record, under 500, and with a struggling team in general. The offensive line was not too good. The players injured on offense. The quarterback is aging. Tom Brady still got juice in him, but he's not. But you see it fall off. Like he's not the same Tom Brady. We know he's the GOAT quarterback. He's the greatest of all time and stuff. I know people are gonna say, well, he's the GOAT. Well, we know he's the GOAT. He's the GOAT all the time. But this season, Tom Brady has not been good at all. You look at his numbers, you look at the gains, and it can be fact because due to the team being injured and losing people. When you get older in age, sometimes you need more help. We see Aaron Rodgers struggling in Green Bay, and the receiver help like that. We see, you need more help when you get a little older in age too. You play the kind of a little bit like that. But I think Tom Brady might be on the move, maybe going to, I don't know, the Raiders is a rumor that people have been saying a lot too. Maybe see him in the Raiders like that. Maybe. You never know what can happen. But I feel like, or maybe the Saints. I don't know. The Saints got a lot of weapons too. Maybe you go to a different team, go to the Saints like that. I don't know if you go to the Saints, but you never know what can happen. But I got the 49ers win this game 33-23. The Cowboys, they looked impressive against the Bucks, but it is the Bucks. You know, the Bucks lost to some bad teams, and the Bucks been pretty bad. If you watch the Bucks game, you can't pick out one game where you said the Seahawks win is the only win I see that the Bucks had that was a good win like that. But all the other games they played, the teams they beat, it was like, those teams like that you're supposed to beat. like that. And some of those wins, you're like, it's like some little lucky stuff. We've seen the one against against the Falcons early in the season when they called a little roughing the passer penalty on Garrett. Jared Everett? I can't say his name, but they called it on number 97. I can get his name out. But he tackled Brady, and Brady landed on his hips and rolled over. So I don't know how they called that roughing the passer, but they got an easy one with that one. And they just struggled throughout the season. So it was kind of like, you knew it was gonna happen. You knew they were gonna lose to the Cowboys. I predicted the Cowboys to beat them pretty comfortably like that. And Dak Prescott he had 5 touchdowns total through 4. He rushed for 1. But against the 49ers defense is different. They got 6 Pro Bowls over that team. They got all pros. They had Defensive Player of the Year, Nick Bosa over there. Armstead, all those guys, Fred Warner. They run that 4-3 defense. Those 3 linebackers in the middle. No linebackers can hunt. And we've seen what they did to the Seahawks. We've seen what they did 11 straight games in a row, with 11 straight wins. They go out there and hunt. They put the linebackers out there in coverage, getting downhill and stopping your run, and put the pressure on you. Those DBs in the back, they can go out there and hunt. That safety is nice. They got amazing team right on defensively, and offensively. The O-line is good. They have amazing running backs. They got Christian McCaffrey, who's a good running back, a very good running back. Then you have Elijah Mitchell, who's a good running back, who's a promising running back too. Because last year he missed 6 games his rookie season, and he was a 6th-round pick, I believe, and he had 900 yards, missing 6 games last year. And then they get him and Chris McCaffrey together, going crazy duo. You have a 1-2 punch. You have a 1A, 1B type of punch, really, to be honest with you. Then you have Brandon Ayuk, a very athletic receiver. Then you have your star receiver in Deebo Samuel, who's an amazing receiver. Going to be a running back, going to be a receiver. George Kittle, who is the 2nd best tight end in the league behind Travis Kelce, in my opinion. And then you have, Jennings is a good receiver as well. Brock Purdy has looked pretty good too, like that. She's showing you that he can step up and make plays, and when things are not going perfect, he can still deliver and stuff. So it's gonna be very tough for the Cowboys, I feel like. But I feel like the Cowboys do have a chance. The Cowboys do have a chance. I feel like the score would be 33-23, in my opinion. The 49ers win by 10 points, but I feel like the game will start off a little close, and then the 49ers will easily start breaking away like that. And I feel like the Cowboys do have a chance, though. You never know what can happen like that. Now, the Cowboys can go out there and just establish that run game against this 49ers front, which will gonna be kind of tough, but you can go out there and establish it. Because the Cowboys' offensive line is good. Again, they got back healthier. Like that, they got back healthier, and the Cowboys' O-line, they showed promise against the Buccaneers defense. Buccaneers defense, not the best defense, but they're not the worst defense either. They're actually pretty good, pretty solid like that. So they was holding up pretty well like that. And we've seen Tony Pollard getting and heating up and stuff like that. Ezekiel Elliott having some runs here and there, like doing a little bit like that. But with Dak Prescott can go out there and perform what he did again, gives his Cowboys the best chance to win, and to give the Cowboys a great shot at winning. But I got the 49ers winning this game 33-23. And that's all I got for this video, really. If you like this video, leave a like and subscribe. Let me know in the comment section who you got winning out of all these games. I know I went a little past the time. Usually I try to keep it like 8 minutes or shorter, but it's okay. It's football. We get pumped up and talk about football. The time may exceed our limits like that. But I'll see you guys next time on the channel, which will probably be, I'm going to probably do a double upload today. I'm filming this is Tuesday today, so you guys will see it on Wednesday. I'm probably do double upload that day. This is going to be uploaded probably at 12, and then you'll see one probably at 5 or 6, so stay tuned for that. But I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Peace out.